The Netherlands have been to 3 World Cup finals. They lost every single one, and heading into 2026, with a defense that is arguably the best they've ever had, Dutch fans still can't shake the feeling this ends in heartbreak again. When you understand why, you realize they might be right. And right now, the team once again has some very exciting players. Virgil van Dijk still towers over everyone, the organizer of the backline, the vocal leader of the dressing room, and the player teammates naturally look towards in difficult moments. Don't let one difficult season at Liverpool change your perception of him. Mickey van de Ven has solved one of the biggest weaknesses the Netherlands previously faced: pace against elite attackers. Standing at 6 feet 4 inches, Van de Ven combines the physical presence of a traditional center-back with the speed of a fullback. Behind them in goal is Bart Verbruggen. Brighton fans are desperate to keep him, and Dutch fans are fully backing him to be the rock between the sticks for years to come. The age, the shot stopping, the distribution. The Dutch have their man. In midfield, everything revolves around Frenkie de Jong. Few midfielders in world football are as comfortable receiving possession under pressure. He has an extraordinary ability to escape tight spaces, carry the ball through midfield, and completely change the tempo of a match with a single run. Ryan Gravenberch has developed into an absolute beast alongside him. Physicality, technical quality, and the ability to carry through pressure. Between him and Frenkie, you're not getting a touch. Tijani Reinders offers something different from both. He's constantly looking to drive forward, attack space, and break defensive lines with his dribbling. Always a goal threat from deep. So why is there still so much negativity around the Dutch? A big part of it comes from what they used to have. At the center of Dutch football's golden generation stood Johan Cruyff, a player many still consider the greatest the Netherlands ever produced. Calling Cruyff just a player seems almost unfair. He was the brain of the team, the tactical architect on the pitch, and the symbol of an entire footballing revolution. While everyone else played checkers, Cruyff played chess, constantly directing teammates, finding spaces before they appeared, manipulating opponents with his movement. He could play striker, midfielder, or winger, and looked completely natural in every role, the perfect embodiment of total football. His greatest World Cup moment came in 1974 against Brazil, where he sealed a 2-0 win over the defending champions. Then Marco van Basten. If you could build the perfect striker in a lab, you'd get Van Basten. Ankle injuries cut his career way too short, but when this man was on the pitch, he was an absolute cheat code. Headers, bicycle kicks, long-range shots. He could score anything. His impossible looping volley from a ridiculously tight angle against the Soviet Union in 1988 is widely considered the greatest goal in European Championship history. Ruud Gullit was a physical beast with the skills of a ballet dancer. With the iconic dreadlocks, towering frame, and larger-than-life personality, Gullit became the symbol of that generation. He had the power of a center forward, the speed of a winger, and the technique of a playmaker all in one body. If you've played FIFA, you know. His defining moment in orange came in that same 1988 final. Strong, fearless, impossible to stop. Then Frank Rijkaard, the man who made it all work behind the scenes. What made Rijkaard so special was combining elite defensive qualities with the composure and passing ability of a top-class playmaker. Very few players have ever done both. His greatest moment came in the Euro '88 semi-final against West Germany, a match that was about far more than football for the Dutch. The pain of '74 still lingered, and Rijkaard responded with one of the finest midfield performances of his career, consistently breaking up German attacks and giving the attacking stars the freedom to do their thing. Dennis Bergkamp. They call him the non-flying Dutchman because of his famous fear of flying, but on the pitch his touch was softer than a baby's bottom. Bergkamp played football like an artist. His awareness of space, balance on the ball, and ability to score jaw-dropping, elegant goals were simply unmatched. His greatest moment, 1998 World Cup quarterfinals against Argentina, 89th minute. He brings down a 60-yard pass, effortlessly flicks it inside the defender, and smashes the top bins. Pure perfection. And Patrick Kluivert was the golden boy of the 90s. Physically imposing, excellent at holding the ball up, and the perfect partner for a player like Bergkamp. Despite all of this talent across different generations, the Dutch have never won a World Cup. With Cruyff, they lost the 1974 final. 4 years later, runners-up again without him. In 1994, with Bergkamp and Overmars out in the quarters. With Sneijder and Robben in the modern era, runners-up in 2010, third in 2014, and in 2022 eliminated in the quarterfinals on penalties by Argentina, the eventual world champions. So naturally, many Dutch fans are negative. If all those superstars couldn't do it, how is this current group supposed to? Here's the real irony though, and it's a painful one. Historically, the Dutch have produced the most terrifying attackers football has ever seen. Defending was always the concern, scoring was never the question. Now, for perhaps the first time in modern Dutch football history, that equation has completely flipped. The defense is clearly stronger than the attack. There is no truly world-class attacker leading the line. Memphis Depay actually holds the all-time goals record for the Netherlands, more than Cruyff, Van Basten, or Bergkamp ever scored in an orange shirt. And yet nobody truly fears him. His club career has stalled badly. He's at Corinthians in Brazil now. He can overcomplicate things, disappear in big matches, and Dutch fans never know which version of Memphis will show up. Cody Gakpo is more consistent for the national team, but he isn't an attacker who puts fear into top defenses either. Daniel Malen was absolutely flying at Roma in the second half of the season. 10 goals in 12 Serie A appearances, and he made a strong case for himself. But can a player making his name on loan really be your main weapon at a World Cup? And then came the worst blow of all. Xavi Simons, arguably the Netherlands' most creative, most unpredictable player, ruptured his ACL at Tottenham in April. Gone. The 23-year-old went on Instagram and posted that he was heartbroken, that representing his country this summer was just gone. It's devastating on a personal level. Tactically, it leaves a hole that Ronald Koeman simply cannot fill. The midfield on paper should be among the strongest in international football. A trio of De Jong, Gravenberch, and Reinders is genuinely elite. But the problem is availability. Frankie's injury record at Barcelona has repeatedly prevented the Netherlands from building real continuity in their best setup. The team's best version has existed mostly on paper. Defensively, though, the Dutch are the real deal. Van Dijk, Nathan Ake, Jurrien Timber, Mickey van de Ven, a backline that would be the envy of almost any nation at this tournament. Denzel Dumfries provides genuine quality at wingback, but many Dutch supporters feel they've built a defensive fortress with absolutely no artillery to take advantage of it. And then there's the Ronald Koeman issue. Koeman the player is a Dutch icon. His winning free kick in the 1992 European Cup final for Barcelona will always be remembered. Koeman the manager is a very different story. The most consistent criticism is man management. Louis van Gaal would publicly defend his players through difficult periods. Koeman has done the opposite, regularly criticizing members of his own squad through the media. His comments about Steven Bergwijn after the winger moved to Saudi Arabia generated significant controversy. His public criticism of younger players like Joshua Zirkzee frustrated the fan base, with Bergwijn reportedly saying at one point that he didn't even want to play for Koeman anymore. When players are already under enormous pressure wearing that shirt, the manager's job is to protect them, not throw them under the bus. Then there's the tactical rigidity. When his approach works, the Netherlands can look excellent. When opponents disrupt it, the team visibly struggles to adapt. Subs arrive too late. Adjustments feel reactive rather than proactive. And most recently at the squad announcement press conference, Koeman couldn't even recognize Burnley striker Zian Fleming when asked about leaving him out of the squad, a player who had scored 11 Premier League goals that season. He chose Wout Weghorst instead. That moment said something. Knockout football demands managers who can solve problems in real time. Many Dutch supporters simply aren't convinced Koeman is that kind of manager. The World Cup is 8 days away. The Netherlands open against Japan on June 14th in Group F, then face Sweden, then Tunisia. On paper, they should get through that group. But if this Dutch squad is going to finally win the trophy that has escaped this country for over 50 years, they're going to need a version of themselves that nobody has seen yet. Now, the World Cup in general is a bit of a mess. New rules, new teams, a brand new round of 32. You need a guide to make sense of everything, so you have to watch this video right here.